Glenora Wine Cellars is excited about the release of our new Reserve Riesling, Semi-Dry Reserve Riesling, and this is 100% from Harry Humphreys vineyard here very close to the winery, and this is a special project of our associate winemaker, Rachel Hadley.
Actually right here at Harry Humphreys vineyard right now, which is pretty cool. He's located just up the road from Glenora Wine Cellars on the western shore of Seneca Lake. Harry, do you want to talk a little bit about, what makes this vineyard so unique and a little bit about yourself?
Well, actually, Rachel, we call this the Seneca Arrowhead vineyard site. And it's kind of neat, I like to look back the history of the lands around here, and this particular area, my grandfather used to find a lot of arrowheads when he worked the soils in this area, and he had quite a collection. So we're quite sure that there was a Seneca Indian encampment here several hundred years ago, and for that reason we call it the Seneca Arrowhead Vineyard Site. All the wine characteristics, the flavors, always the soil is so important.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a neat soil profile here. I mean, typically, as you know, for good vineyard sites, you want a kind of a loamy, gravelly soil, well drained, but good loam content for nutrients. And this site is pretty neat. It's Erie clay loam. And it's kind of a little bit atypical. It has just enough loam content for adequate drainage, but it has a higher than normal clay content. And as such, it has quite a high mineral content. And I think the mineral contents in these soils is very unique to transform to the flavor characteristics of our grapes here, and thus the wines. We've had 3 different Governor's Cups out of this area, and it's really produced some pretty neat wines here.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to be able to work with your fruit, Harry, here at Glenora. I worked with it for multiple years at Cuca Spring Vineyards, so I think it's great that we can continue to work together. And yeah, I've always seen from every year a very kind of special fruit profile from this particular vineyard, so I'm really excited that we were able to make this product this year. Could you talk a little about, so it's hard to see on film, but these vines are actually quite unusual the way that you've planted them, right? For this locale on the lake, the fact that they're running, in a completely different direction from what you'd see coming down the road.
Well, I think one thing is to minimize disease issues in the vineyard. Airflow is critical, and in the lake region here, we have a lot of natural topography as far as natural slopes. So we use the slopes to our advantage just to get a good natural airflow here.
Yeah.
This particular block was planted, I think this is one of my oldest blocks, and it was planted about 30 years.
Yeah.
I think about 30 years now. The airflow is a very critical thing, and we get excellent airflow here at night when the temperature's cool.
Right.
You get a natural airflow from west to east down to the lakes.
Yeah.
And so it really helps to minimize disease pressure, and we get nice clean fruit, and I think that's really a critical factor.
Just a little bit about the wine. So we really just wanted to kind of showcase the pure expression of this vineyard, which is why this is 100% Harry Humphreys Riesling. As soon as we got the fruit, we actually did a cold soak with it overnight, and then we basically pressed the fruit and we fermented it using a pied de couve method, which is in other terms can be known as bucketing over. So instead of taking commercial yeast, we basically just took a bucket of already fermenting juice and then dumped that bucket of juice into the tank of Harry Humphreys juice. And the purpose behind that is basically to encourage a very kind of slow slow, low temperature fermentation to just promote the kind of pure aromatic expression of the wine. And so yeah, we're really excited about it. Semi-dry style, a little bit lower alcohol. I think it's going to be a great wine as kind of an aperitif with anything, or because it's got that touch of sweetness, any sort of spiced or savory or fatty foods would be really excellent with this wine. So duck, you could grill eggplant with this wine, do like kind of a ratatouille thing. Any sort of spicy foods would be great. Yeah, it's a really, really versatile wine, so we're really excited about it.
Lovely.